It's time for Coffee on the Coast. Good afternoon and welcome to Coffee on the Coast. I'm your host today, Tina Prigge. Welcome back to Coffee on the Coast, artist Sonia Vasquez. She's connecting with us today live from the Rahr-West Art Museum. Sonia, it is so nice to see you.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Now, this is kind of a cool collaboration because you're at the Rahr-West Art Museum and you're doing a project with the Rahr-West Art Museum and the Manitowoc Public Library for teens specifically. Is that right?
Yep. So I am one of the art instructors here at the Rahr-West Art Museum, and sometimes we like to collaborate with our friends over at the library especially for teen lock-ins, things like that. So that's kind of why we're doing this.
Okay, so a teen lock-ins, we're talking specifically a certain age range, like, teens all the way through 18, 19.
Yeah. So the age range for this teen lock-in is going to be 11 to 17.
Okay, 11 to 17. This teen lock-in that we're talking about is on Friday, March 31st. It is from 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's this surrealist painting experience with Sonia Vasquez Art Museum. What do you want people to know about this?
So I think it's really the subject matter is really interesting, right? I think the surrealists, if anybody is more familiar with them, they're kind of the wacky, wild, dreamlike, otherworldly group of artists from the early 1920s and sort of beyond. And they played these kind of crazy games, and one of them is called Exquisite Corpse, which is the game that we're going to be playing for the teen lock-in to create our piece of artwork at the end. And the way that this game is played is that you fold a paper into three pieces, and each person, so you'll have three people, and one person will start with the head, and then they'll flip the paper over so the next person can't see what they drew. And then the next person draws the middle part, so it's like the torso of the figure or creation, whatever it might be, and then so on. So you just keep doing that until it's finished. And then at the end, you have this wonderful, crazy, wacky creature that multiple people collaborated on.
Fun. It kind of sounds like the art version of Mad Libs.
Yeah, it is almost like that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then did I notice too that in the notes that then once that happens, then each student will actually be creating a painting of some kind?
Right. So we're going to take those creatures that we've created with each other, and then each person at the end will have their own, unique creature, and we'll take that and translate it onto a canvas and make a painting from it.
Oh, cool. Okay, so if teens want to participate, do they need to bring any kind of supplies or prepare anything?
Nope. So we'll have all the supplies that they need here. We always try to definitely keep it so that nobody has to ever really bring anything for any of our classes. So, yeah.
Awesome. And then Tim just commented, he said, if I was a teenager, which I sadly am not, the name of a game called Exquisite Corpse would have me camping out to sign up. Indeed.
Yeah, I know when I was a teenager, I was pretty obsessed with Salvador Dali and all the surrealists. They were always so interesting to look at and to research and be inspired by, for sure.
Right. Okay, so Salvador Dali, that's a great example of a surrealist artist. Are there some other artists that people might know to understand a little bit about what's meant by surrealism?
Yeah, so Salvador Dali is probably the biggest name. There's Joan Miro. Man Ray was a big photographer that did some surrealist stuff. I'm trying to think of anybody else, but obviously being on the spot now, I'm blanking. But
yeah, that was not pre-prepared. But it's funny because in Tim's comment, he mentioned camping out to sign up. And so we should point out that registration is required, and that makes sense so that the artists can have enough materials prepared for everyone. So registration opens Friday, March 17th at 5 p.m. You can call or visit the youth desk at the Manitowoc Public Library to sign up. And now this is taking place at the Rahr-West Art Museum?
Correct.
Okay.
So any signups will be, like Tina said, like you just said, will be through the library, but it will actually be taking place at the Rahr-West Art Museum.
Okay, cool. Do the teens get to bring their artwork home with them?
They do. They do. Yep.
Yeah, very cool. And Sonia, let's tell viewers a little bit about yourself and your credentials, just in case they don't
Okay.
know that you are. We're talking to Sonia Vasquez. I don't know if you realize, viewers, how lucky we are, but Sonia is a great artist working right here on the coolest coast. Sonia, tell us more.
So I'm primarily a painter. That's what I kind of do besides working at the RAR. So part-time sort of doing painting professionally, and then part-time being an art instructor here at the RAR. And I mainly do classical realist style painting. That's my kind of love and passion ever since I was pretty young. So that's what I continue to do, and hope to do lots more.
That is awesome. Okay, another question that the teens might have. Is there a certain way that they should dress? Like, should they be wearing clothes that can get paint on it, or is it not that wild?
Sure. So, talking about being an artist, I consider all my clothes paint clothes because it's inevitable. Uh, but I do recommend that, obviously you don't really want to wear your best when you're working with paint if you don't want to risk getting paint on you. But we do have plastic and cloth aprons available here as well, just in case for some reason, you weren't able to change or you just want to have some extra protection.
Okay, awesome. And you mentioned canvas. What kind of paints will they be using?
So we'll be looking at and using acrylic paints.
Okay, cool. Yep. Anything you want to say to teens who might be watching to motivate them to join you? Because it sounds like an awesome experience.
Sure, yeah. So I'm super excited about this. I hope everybody else is too. I think it's going to be really fun to be able to collaborate with each other on an art project. I feel like that's something that we don't always get to do. We get to, kind of make our own stuff and be a little bit insular. But this class allows us to collaborate with our peers and to create something totally unique and interesting, and we get to learn about surrealists. So I'm super excited. I hope that teens are too.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so if you're watching, if you know a teen or you are a teen, this is for you. It's a teen lock-in. It's through the Manitowoc Public Library. It is happening at the Rahr-West Art Museum. It is a surrealist painting event with artist Sonia Vasquez on Friday, March 31st, 6:30 to 8 p.m. You'll be creating your own surrealist work of art and have fun with the other teens that are involved. Registration opens Friday, March 17th at 5 p.m. and that registration is through the Manitowoc Public Library. What an awesome experience. And there's another comment from Tim, and he says, Sonia is fantastic. Like you said, Tina, we're very fortunate to be collaborating with her. Huzzah.
Well, I definitely, the feeling is mutual. Definitely have a lot of love and appreciation for Tim and the Manitowoc Public Library. I think there's lots of amazing things going on there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Sonia, thanks for all you do to make this the coolest coast. Thank you for bringing this cool event to the teens of the coolest coast. And really, thank you for taking the time to come and talk to us about it today. I really appreciate it.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me today.
You bet. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching today's episode of Coffee on the Coast. My guest was Sonia Vasquez. I'm your host, Tina Prigge, and we'll see you next time on Coffee on the Coast. Bye, all.